That's great.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good to see you guys.
Oh, good to mystical world.
What's up, man? Huh? Finally on the stage.
Take a little trip to you. How are you? You're doing good. What do you think about Now that we have your attention, welcome you today to this auspicious occasion, and where this is kind of your life, Robert Crew. You know, got some wonderful guests here today, and we want to thank you for being here to honor Robert and Jackie and indeed their entire family. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about Robert Crew, the person that you may not know. Robert Crew is first and foremost a professional with integrity. Whatever the skill may be that he is applying at the moment, whether teaching, administering, managing, supervising, solving problems, taking photographs, or detailing vehicles. He has an eye for how things should look and how they should fit into the whole, which is a unique and beneficial talent applicable to any activity in which he might be engaged. Robert has taught, worked with, helped, and befriended people throughout the state of Louisiana. As an employee in the Louisiana State Department of Education, who served in a number of high-level positions under several different state superintendents, he was faithful and loyal to those for whom he worked.
There were 8.
8. I didn't know that. 8 superintendents. In Baton Rouge, Robert's friends and my friends who are here, who used to work in the department, could tell you you were lucky if you made it under 1. Robert made a lot of difficult decisions and did a lot of things that nobody knew about, all the while with the public's and students' best interest in mind. No ordinary person could have borne the weight of responsibility shouldered by Robert Crew during the important years he served at the state level. Whoever was seeking his counsel knew they could trust his wisdom because he was competent, knowledgeable, and completely honest. Throughout it all, people who knew him best felt he enjoyed what he did because he spent most of his time improving the quality of life for other people. His experience and personal qualities made him an ideal person to return to his beloved alma mater, Northwestern State University, to serve as executive assistant to the president. The position required a person of honesty and integrity who could accompany or represent the president in various settings, particularly on the campus. In addition to his normal responsibilities, Robert supervised the university police and for a time oversaw the operations of buildings and grounds at the university. With the safety and security of employees and students paramount at the university, and the appearance of the campus a priority among alumni, Natchitoches citizens, and people working and attending class on campus, Robert Crew was an obvious choice to provide leadership in these important areas. Northwestern is a better university for his having served the institution and its people so selflessly. We've initiated a new tradition in the last couple of years at Northwestern whereby we honor certain people on the basis of their achievement or accomplishments in life, and particularly what they contribute to Northwestern State University. And this evening, we're going to follow through with that tradition in Robert's name, in that we're going to honor his 48 years of distinguished service to education by illuminating the columns, the prettiest and most grand and glorious color there is, Northwestern State purple, in Robert's honor. So Robert, we want to give you a certificate commemorating the occasion and commemorating the fact that we will be honoring you this evening, and we'll try our best to honor you all the time. I know that you've got a number of family members and other special guests whom you'd like to introduce, and then I'll follow through with the rest of the program.
Okay. I think most of you, or all of you, know Jackie, my wife for 47 years. That threw a kink in my plan. But my daughter is here, right here on the floor. Her husband, Kristen's husband, is Barry Milligan. He's right over here. And Chandler and Madison. And they're pistols, let me tell you. Corey is getting off work. He's going to try to...
He just came in.
You're late.
Now it works.
Oh, he's all right. You're late. Yeah, would you do that? My brother David is here, David Miller and Lisa. Where is David? Okay. And I have a Baton Rouge family that Rick, Yvonne, Libby, and folks, there's some State Department people here because we all had the same job. Dr. Webb had it first. He went to Southeastern. Dr. DeLee had it first. And he's here. Dr. DeLee and his wife are here. But we must have had 5 or 6 people. If you're from the State Department, raise your hand, please. Well, yeah, Mike Listen. He was my buddy down there, buddy in crime. Lord knows. We won't go into any of those. But Diane, Nelwyn, Thelma, and Jackie Lewis are here. Huh?
You forgot Marilyn and David. See, I'm already
Back.
directing.
All right, where is the Baton Rouge family? Raise your hand. All right, there's more than that. I just don't know where they are. And at last, I want to introduce my girlfriend of 10 years. Jackie, would you stand up? I did that one time at a thing in education over there, and I said, and would my girlfriend of 8 years or something please stand up? One of my buddies says, "Crew, I honestly thought you had slit your throat." Right there. But we have a total now of 57 years together. Well, I'm through until we get into the other part.
Okay. What's the other part? You know?
Well, I don't know what you're doing.
Thought you were gonna dance.
That's why I was wondering. I figured you must know more than I know, which isn't unusual. You know, we provided Robert and Jackie these nice chairs to sit in and relax over here. And some of you probably see something here that's less than well concealed. But this is something we wanted to honor Robert with. as well, and several of us went together and gave money, members of my cabinet, as well as some other employees. Robert, you'll find out who your friends are, you know. University Police, Chuck Berg.
I'm gonna deal with him in the...
That's what I figured. And Pam Heatherwick, along with members of the cabinet. So these folks were so kind and gracious to enable us to honor Robert with a lovely chair that he might choose to sit in or wait and take it home. But this says Robert G. Crew, Executive Assistant to the President, and this is below the Northwestern State University seal. You like it? Just got a few scratch pages there. You know you're in good company when you're with somebody who knows people from all over the state of Louisiana, and somebody who knows enough people to be honored by the legislature. And I just wanted to very briefly mention the fact that Senator Gerald Long for District 31 has had a resolution adopted by the state Senate that hereby extends heartiest congratulations and commendation to Robert G. Crew upon his retirement from Northwestern State University with nearly 50 years of service to the state of Louisiana, having served the last 16 years as Executive Assistant to the President of Northwestern State University. So this is some more of your friends, Robert. And I wanted to read to you a resolution that was offered by Representative Kenny Cox of our district and was unanimously adopted by the House of Representatives. It's really so beautifully worded and really gets at Robert the person. A resolution to commend Robert G. Crew on almost half a century of outstanding service and dedication to the citizens of the state of Louisiana, and to congratulate him on the occasion of his retirement from Northwestern State University. Whereas it is appropriate that a sincere measure of appreciation be expressed to Robert G. Crew for his many years of committed service, dedication, and remarkable contributions to the state of Louisiana. And whereas Mr. Crew earned his Bachelor and Master of Education degrees from Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana in 1965 and 1968, respectively, and from 1965 until 1970, he taught in the Caddo and St. Mary Parish school systems. And whereas from 1970 until 1997, 27 years, Mr. Crew held 28 years, held several high-profile positions with the Louisiana Department of Education, including supervisor, assistant director, and director of the Bureau of Higher Education and Teacher Certification, director of the Bureau of Continuing Education, and deputy superintendent. And whereas on July the 1st, 1997, Mr. Crew returned to his beloved alma mater, Northwestern State University, and on June 30th, 2013, Mr. Crew will retire with nearly 50 years of service to the state of Louisiana, having served the last 16 years as executive assistant to Northwestern State's long-serving president, Dr. Randall J. Webb. And whereas Mr. Crew is a consummate professional, executing every responsibility with integrity, and has been a huge asset, not only to Northwestern State University, but to the entire education system of Louisiana. And whereas Mr. Crew has been an exemplary leader of staff and has advised state leaders, members of boards, legislators, parish and other local leaders, university administrators, and government leaders with the highest level of candor and professionalism. And whereas Robert G. Crew merits a special measure of commendation for his outstanding accomplishments as he prepares to begin the next exciting and productive chapter of his life. Therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the Legislature of Louisiana does hereby commend Robert G. Crew upon his retirement as Executive Assistant to the President at Northwestern State University after 16 years of service to the university and 48 total years of service to the state of Louisiana, does hereby recognize and record for posterity his unwavering dedication to Northwestern State University and his singular contributions to this exceptional university, does hereby express enduring appreciation to him for the deep sense of pride and honor that he brings to Northwestern State University and to the state of Louisiana, and does hereby extend to him every good wish for success and happiness in all of his future endeavors. Be it further resolved that a suitable copy of the resolution be transmitted to Robert G. Crew. So I will transmit this to you. For those of you who know Robert's proclivities toward matting and framing and all these kinds of things, that give him something to do, Jackie, you know. But these are such beautiful documents, and they're so well deserved, Robert and Jackie. Jackie, we honor you anytime we honor Robert. There is something else that I need to do. This is surprising, Robert.
Well, surprise.
This surprises me. We got a friend of yours over here, Robert, who wants to talk to you a little bit. It's helping me unveil something. This says, Robert Crew Photography Studio, good heavens, honoring Mr. Crew's dedication and service to NSU and his love of the photographic arts. June 4th, 2013. Mr. Long probably knows far more about this than I do. The Honorable Jimmy Long.
Thank you so much, Dr. Webb. It's an honor for me to be a part of the program today. And to tell Robert, we stayed up all night lobbying to get the board to approve this. Seriously, every member of the board knows Robert well. And every member of the board respects Robert just as I do and all of you do. So it's a pleasure that the board has seen fit to name that area of Northwestern with photography after Robert, because most of you know that's one of his main loves. I won't say the only love. I want to tell just a little story about Robert. I see Jim DeLay and other members of the State Department here that go way back. when I was there in the legislature for many years. And Robert was the one that I called and bothered the most after I got him, after he got in a position that of certification. As most of you know, when teachers graduate and get that certificate in their hand, the next thing they want to do is to get certified to teach. Well, as you know, Robert was in charge of certification, State Department, for a long time. And so I'd call Robert frequently. Young teachers would come to me and say, "You know Robert Crew?" I said, "Oh yeah, I know Robert Crew, and I know what you want too." And I'd call Robert and he'd say, "What do you want this time?" But it was a great relationship, and over the years, Robert and Jackie have become not only good associates, but great friends. And we're so happy to be with you today, Robert, to be a part of this special program and to make this presentation, this permanent presentation, in your honor. Thank you so much.
Before Dr. Webb gets what he's going to next, I'll tell you one thing. I had a superintendent one time come to my office, and I had the door closed to my office, and he walked in and he says, "I'm here to see Mr. Crew." And so my secretary brought him in, and he walked into my office and he looked at me. He said, "You're Robert Crew?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "You sound much older on the phone." I said, "Well, would you like to go outside and call me on the phone?" I never had any other problems after that, dude.
I'm going to allow Robert an opportunity to respond. What I want to let you know is, after Robert's response and you're visiting with him, I want to invite you to take advantage of two things. Number one, Robert's got an incredible photographic display up on the second level of the art gallery here. And then, beyond that, on the second floor in this wing of the building, keep this room number in mind, this is room number 220. 220 is where we're going to go and show Robert his room. He's got a room now. He's complained all the time, doesn't have enough offices. We give him a room to take pictures in.
That's good. Hold that for me. Everybody's been very concerned about what I was going to do when I retired. Some suggested we needed to downsize. Jackie thinks we need a bigger house. Carl Jones even suggested that we buy a duplex with adjoining patios. How is retired life? Well, let me tell you a little bit about it. The first day that I had decided for sure that I was going to retire, I wrecked my Jeep. Next, I sold my truck, not knowing that my truck pulled my boat, which now I have no way to pull my boat. That wasn't very smart. Today I noticed that my damn driver's license expired. Today. So we went flying to the place to try to get it, and those women in there know me pretty good, so they helped me. Now when somebody says, "How's retirement?" I tell them I haven't been told yet. That seems to work well for you know who. The doctor said I was a candidate for a knee replacement. Can you believe that? Won't be long. Latest venture was our tombstones. We have tombstones with our name on it in American Cemetery. So in case it's needed, I got it. I decided, but talking about tombstones, I decided to tell you about my last will and testament. Here goes. To Gary Nolly. Where's Gary Nolly?
Right here.
Gary, I'm going to leave to you my ability to detect trees that have been hit by lightning. Do you understand? I thought we had that understanding. To Retha Cox, I leave all of my patience. To Jerry Pierce, I leave my ability to recommend good places to eat, even though they never listen. To Hovey Harrell, I leave my good friend Maxine Sutherland. Maxine couldn't be here today. She's a little under the weather, but I leave my good friend Maxine to Hovey. Take care of her, Hovey. She's a very special lady. To Chuck. Chuck here?
Right over here.
I leave my ability to stir the pot.
Hey, you got a special palate.
I gave you that too a long time ago, didn't I?
You sure did.
Sure did. Good. Bill Brent, I leave my office. Hell, he's already got it. I don't even have a key to my office. To Pam Cook and Leanne Miller, I leave all of my computer skills. I figured that'd get the house going. To Marcus Jones, I leave him with Donna Anderson. And I suggest that you get that gun away from her. As for my job of testing cookies and pralines before an event, that's Bev and Susan. I won't be needing any help with that. You just call me and I'll check those out. So just call me and I'll be there. To all of you, that one shouldn't be in there. I think you know.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah. That's not. I don't know where it is.
To all of you, I leave my love of Northwestern, and it's our love of Northwestern. And I challenge all of you to keep it great. And we thank you all for coming.
I knew I couldn't do that.
Well, unless Leanne and Pam say I've forgotten something, I think we will allow you now to, if you want to continue down here, but mainly I encourage you to go upstairs to the gallery and see some of Robert's wonderful works. And then please be sure to go to room 220 in the building. Down to the end of the hall on the second floor, turn right, and it's probably halfway down the hall on the right. And by the way, this plaque here, Robert,
Yes, sir.
this is for y'all. It just commemorates this honor.
That's great.
So, hope everyone had a great time.